Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the DJ interview series. I'm Stitcharoo, and this is my friend FliX, and we're going to do the deep dive. First things first, tell us a little bit about what you did to prepare for your set at Club F.Y.N.N.
Well, I mainly practiced a lot of DJing. I listened to a lot of music, and personally, quite a big part of it was actually going out and experiencing it in person. Like, I like to, of course, cite lots of live concerts when I prepare for DJing works because I just like to see how they perform live and try and bring it into VR chat.
Are there a lot of those concerts in the UK?
Oh, yeah, all of them, because I can't travel abroad. I'm too young.
That's fair. That's fair. So you don't do like bar shows. It's mainly just like large venue concerts?
Uh, well, actually, yeah, but I thought you meant just in the UK, but yeah, there's a lot of bar shows I go to because I like a really small subculture of music called hardcore punk, and it's just like most of the shows are in very small venues, and that's my favorite part. So I'm actually going one tomorrow.
Oh, killer! Who you seeing?
I'm seeing Drain, Pest Control, and Morning, which I'm very excited to see because I've been meaning to see them for a couple of years now.
Nice. I've been so happy seeing a resurgence of punk. That's what I grew up with.
Hell yeah, I love punk so much. That's what I grew up with as well.
Hooray! Let's switch gears a little bit. What was your experience DJing within VR, and have you ever DJ'd a live set? And if so, how was it different?
I have actually DJed quite a couple live. I got into VR chat DJing just because a couple of my friends started doing it, and I never really, at the time, liked electronic music. And I was just like, well, what do I like personally that I can bring into VR chat? I like metal. And then for about a year or so, I didn't know how to DJ, so I didn't get any shows. But it was it was just mainly that I wanted to DJ metal in VR chat, and that was mainly like what pushed me to start VR chat DJing. But
It's a
other
gateway
than that,
drug.
like yeah, it's totally gateway. But I have done a couple IRL shows actually, but none of them were metal. All of them have been like bass house, UK garage, or jungle. Like that's kind of my area. I love the UK rave scene.
I've got a soft spot for UK garage, just saying.
It's amazing. I love swung. I love swung rhythms, so that's all my area.
Nice. So, with your starting out with punk and metal and such, what was your inspiration to start spinning?
Yeah, I think it was mainly just like I wanted to bring a band into VR chat. Like I wanted to perform as a band in VR chat because I had no real interest in DJing, but the closest thing I had to it was DJing, and many other people did it as well. So I thought that was just the closest thing I could do to it. So that's why I actually include live vocals in my sets because I want to bridge the gap in between like actual live sets by being, a frontman or a frontwoman. Sorry.
Oh, do you play instrument as well?
I do. I play guitar, I play bass, I play piano, and
Oh,
I'm
wow.
also trained in the organ. But
How dare
yeah,
you?
I love it. It's awesome. My favorite part of music is
That is
playing
really
it
cool.
live, but yeah, I love it.
Do you ever, I think you kind of answered this, mix some of that live playing of yourself into your tracks?
I do, I do. Of course, sometimes you might hear me doing screamed vocals, because I like to do that myself because I'm a harsh vocalist for a band. Um, I also like to do like call outs, like for example, if there's a breakdown, I might say something before it, or if there's a two-step part, then I might get people to two-step for that. It's just mainly stuff that I like to cross over from the live setting to the VR chat setting.
That is crazy cool.
Thank you.
Who, trying to think of a good way to phrase this one because it's a little bit different. Who are you currently looking up to for inspiration for putting out sets, making your music, playing with your band? Who are some of your inspirations?
Oh goodness, there's there's a lot because I'm into a lot of music, but especially when it comes to electronic music and like DJing, I've like as soon as I've known them, I've always like just been obsessed with them. Porter Robinson, which a lot of furries will probably be hearing and be like, "Yeah, I love them too," because the furry community has kind of adopted them at this point, but it's like
That's
I love
fair.
Porter Robinson. When it comes to my band and like harsh vocals, I love See You Space Cowboy, which is a like an emo band kind of. I love World of Pleasure, which is a straight edge hardcore band. Um, Especially, I'll say one more. I've looked up to a very recent band recently that I've just loved called Bodyweb. They're a small UK band, but they fusion jungle into their music, they fusion shoegaze into their music, they fusion acoustic into their music. It's like a big, just huge like genre collide, but all centralized within post hardcore, and I love that mainly.
That's kick ass. What are some of the techniques that you will be utilizing within your mixing?
Oh goodness, there's not a lot of. I don't think there is actually a lot of techniques that I like utilizing. I really like I love hard cuts, which sounds bad, but I love just cutting out a sound and then having it focus on one thing and then a huge explosion of sound. Like I always love like a huge retention buildup, a release, and then just a complete like drop everything, because there's a lot of bands that I listen to and put into my mixes that have just like abnormal amounts of bass, but followed by nothing before it. And I love that a lot. So I like to kind of incorporate that in my DJing as well.
Yeah, metal's a good genre for like the hard cut, quick transitions. Absolutely. Do you do a lot with
Mm.
stem work as well?
Oh, kinda. Not a lot, because of course, if you actually do try and use stems like what I'd say AI is doing at the moment, it's mainly AI, but because we can't actually get access to the actual stems, but it's not that good when you separate harsh vocals or screamed vocals from instrumentals that are just completely like low tuned. It's a complete mess. I wish it wasn't,
That's fair.
because I'd use it a lot more, but it's like it sounds really jumpy. It cuts a lot, so a lot of the
That's
time,
fair.
if I do that, I usually just reinforce it with my own voice, and then it sounds a lot more in with it, like if I were to do vocal stems. But yeah, I don't use it that much, but occasionally it comes into place every so and so.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know, stems are the separation between the various levels of the music: high, mids, lows, bass, sometimes kick only. Good deal. Good deal. Talk about some of the hardware, some of the software you use to do these. Obviously, you use your instruments and your voice. What else?
Oh yeah, of course. This is gonna sound kind of strange for people who don't, or it's gonna sound strange for everyone. I'll be completely honest. I do
How
not use
dare
a
you?
controller to DJ. I'm a DAW DJ. Oh, weird, right? Not that weird. The weirdest part is that I use DaVinci Resolve, and it's definitely not something you should be doing. But I just do it for some reason. I used to use Premiere Pro. I did my whole Aqua set on Premiere Pro because
Oh,
I just
wow.
have no other access to any other DAWs other than Ableton, but Ableton's very BPM based and it kind of throws me off. But I use DaVinci for my metal sets. And then for all my electronic sets, I like to record them or live record them. Like I use my FLX 4, which is my signature controller, the FliX 4, and I use that with Rekordbox.
That's fair.
But yeah,
And
I only
cool.
really use that for electronic music.
Gotcha. And that's kind of cool that you use DaVinci Resolve. We had another DJ that's doing the same thing. That's using
Really, who
the
was it?
same tool. Hmm. You'll have to watch the interviews to find out.
Oh, well, I will.
Oh man. And once again, DaVinci Resolve is more video editing software, same with Premiere Pro. But it's really cool that people are using tools that weren't designed specifically to be used the way that we're using them. It's very clever. And
Absolutely. I mean,
lastly, I'd
like I
like to
found it.
end these. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, I was gonna say. I said I found it myself because I just had no other experience with it before, because I had no help when I was going into DJing, because I didn't know what to do for metal. I was just like, eh, it's good. Let's just get a video recording software and see if I could do it that way. And it just spiraled down from there.
Nice. And I like to end these the same way that I do all the time. For DJs that are up and coming and looking to get their start, what's a piece of advice that you could give them?
Oh goodness. Okay, this is a very like hardcore punk outlook perspective from it, but either watch a lot of shows on YouTube if you can't go to them, but if you can, go to a lot of shows, because it just shows how much you should not particularly act, but maybe present yourself on stage, how you might be able to retain sets through pacing and energy consumption and stuff like that. And just experience live music. Experiencing live music is a very important part for me, especially when I'm incorporating it into my sets, because I just love it so much. It's my entire life at this point. So I definitely would say, like, just put a lot of time into your craft and see live music. You just need to see it.
Super cool. Well, thank you so much, FliX. It was an absolute pleasure, and we'll catch you at Club Finn. Bye,
Thank you too.
everybody.
Bye bye.